All right, what up, everybody? It's your boy PTK Bland back with another The Shop podcast with the usual suspects.
Yeah, yeah.
Got another special guest this week. I told you guys I was going to be bringing another podcast this week. So go ahead, everybody, introduce yourself. Go ahead, Elite.
Yeah, it's Elite Gamer Man 9008. Follow your boy on Twitter at what I just said. Yeah. What's up, y'all? Xbox.
What up? K underscore Alex1 on Twitter. Let's do it.
And my special guest, go ahead and shout yourself out.
Hey everybody, it's the Anchorman V here. You can follow me on Twitter at the Anchorman V. You can do Xbox, whatever. It's all the same across all platforms. Figured that would be helpful to everybody.
No problem, no problem. Let's get this show on the road, fellas. So that's a few things I want to discuss this week. We were all kind of chopping it up before the podcast started. And, it's been a slow week. It's been a slow week for every platform,
Terribly slow,
even PC.
terribly
It's
slow.
been a slow week, not really a lot going on. So I picked a few small topics, that we kind of wanted to go over here today. So let's start with the first one here. So the first thing I wanted to go out with, me being a Xbox-centric guy, playing all my games on an Xbox. The update that's rolling out for all of us, for preview members here, for the UI, the new update coming out. I kind of wanted to get everybody's opinion on that. So we'll go ahead and start with the guest about that, Anchorman, about that update that's coming out. What you think about that?
I am extremely looking forward to this new UI. I have noticed they've done a few changes since what they showed at E3. Because what they showed at E3 looked a little more like PS3's UI with a Windows 10 kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, though, has more of an Xbox feel. And I'm really looking forward to that. I know a lot of us, everybody in the preview program should have gotten a message or an update, or not an update, to prompt you that you will be getting an update if you want to opt in towards that. Now, there are a couple of things like Destiny's not going to work necessarily. There might be a few problems with a couple other games, but that's pretty much the only negatives. So if you don't really have much you're playing, basically all the new games have problems.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. So I'll be a guinea pig. I'll do anything.
Yeah, man. For real, for real.
All right. So what you think about it, Elite?
I've been me just like, oh yeah, I've been waiting. Oh, and since they announced we was getting the UI, I've been waiting and waiting and patiently waiting, and then I seen the update for the movies and TV app, and it looked like the Windows one. Then the Groove Music came. I was like, okay, they slowly updating apps on the Xbox One.
Yeah, I
I can't wait. This UI is gonna be sleek and amazing. I already like the one. Now I was like one of the only fans of Windows 8.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I enjoy Windows 8. I don't know. I just thought it was something different. But this UI is gonna be amazing.
Okay.
We can
Cool.
invite friends, send messages while still gaming. We don't have
That's
to
crazy.
game.
And-
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, and you know what though? If you remember, if you go back to E323 and just the reveal and
Yep.
everything went down, some of the features that we're going to be getting now with this UI, that's what they talked
part
about
of it, yeah.
before E3, and
And
this is part of
Phil
their, what
Spencer
they
just
were-
found
yeah.
he just found the better way to implement everything. And that's to not force it on everybody. You know what I'm saying? He's advertising it to where it's appealing to everybody. So now all gamers are like, okay, yeah, I like that UI. Like everybody who's seen the UI likes it.
Definitely,
amazing.
definitely. All right,
It's
so
amazing.
what you think about it, Alex?
Yeah, I'm hype, man. I'm hype. I'm a big Microsoft fan in general, so Windows 10, got it across all my devices. It's great on everything except on Windows Phone. It's not quite ready for launch, and you can tell. So I'm excited to have it on the Xbox One as well. And
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I like the old UI as well. I thought it was very Windows 80, and I was a fan of Windows 8 too for touchscreens.
Oh, nice.
Yep. On the
It was pretty
Surface,
dope.
yeah, on the Surface, it was awesome. And I also thought it was kind of like an extension of the 360 one, so it wasn't really too crazy for me. And it was good
Oh.
with Kinect as well.
You know what, fellas?
What's up?
Did they ever say did they ever mention the snap? How would the new UI affect snap?
Well, they did
I
say
haven't seen anything, but I'm sure it's gonna work.
I don't
Yeah,
know because they said some features are going to be 50% faster. I'm not exactly sure if that's going to be one of the features that's going to be. I'd assume that
Right.
that's one of the features because I mean that's one of the unique features of the actual UI.
Right.
So I think
Uh-huh.
that's something that
Oh,
you know,
I was saying that too. I was wondering, like, you think the screen would be bigger or
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, from what
Oh,
I've
you know
seen,
what? I did see
Or you
that
would be able to
they might
adjust the
have
size of the screen. That'd be
they
pretty
might have a
dope.
picture-in-picture for the TV.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, that'd
Mhm.
be epic.
oh, that'll
Yeah.
be dope. That'll be
That'd
dope.
be epic. You
I'm
know?
really looking forward
Oh
to that.
man.
But
Yeah.
more serious though, with this UI though, this UI is symbolic of the change that the Xbox One is getting. That
Yeah.
the Xbox One
Yeah.
you've had
Agreed.
for a while was the dominatric vision of the
Right.
Xbox, and now
Yep.
this
Very.
new UI
This
is the
represents the
Phil
new
Spencer
new
UI.
era. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
new era representation. And
I
think
agree,
about it.
man.
In
It's
every
almost
Xbox
like a
console besides the
relaunch
OG
type
Xbox,
of thing.
the UI has always changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. And I mean, you're seeing these updates. You're gonna see them rolling out here soon,
I
and
think they still updating the 360.
they are. They just
Yeah,
got
they
an
just did
update.
another update.
They
I
just did
just
an
seen
update
that.
on it
Cloud
recently.
storage, baby.
So that's another thing too that kind of came out this week. I didn't even realize it was still getting updates. Now
Right.
you're
I was
getting
on
I
Twitter
think
like, wow.
2 gigs of cloud storage. They got
Yeah.
I think you get activity feed now and a few
Mm-hmm.
other little small
Yeah.
features. It's crazy, man. That
So
thing's
it's gonna
still
be real
evolving
hard for
after
people to get
10
rid of that
years.
360 because
Yeah.
it's still like a new
Man,
console 10 years later.
it's crazy, man. You guys think Microsoft may be shooting itself in the foot by still giving 360 updates?
I don't think so. I think if you're making money, keep it
I think
going.
they
You
need to
know,
get
people
it.
gonna keep buying
They
and
need
keep
to
it
get it
going.
to
You
the
know.
point. They need to get it to the point where this is the last. This is the legacy version of the 360. Like we're not gonna update anymore. We'll keep it stable. We'll keep it great. And this is the point where it's always going to be from now on. And we're not
I
going to
But
add
I
any new
think,
features to it.
I think that's going to be determined by developers, though. I think once
yeah,
developers
that's what I'm
decide they're going to
saying.
stop making
Mhm.
games for it, I think that's when Microsoft is going to say, okay, we're going to start ramping down. We're going to start slowing down on giving
And
updates.
every time
Yeah.
Microsoft has an exclusive coming out, they have it made by two different developers. You know, for
That's
each
true.
generation.
Comes
That's why
out.
I don't mind.
It comes
You
out.
know,
Yeah,
Well,
but
I
I
mean,
people make
I
money
think
off the console, keep
yeah,
making you
like
money.
next year you'll start seeing more games just on Xbox One.
Hmm.
They're gonna start slowly phasing out the 360, and I think if like they just keep making the Xbox One better, more people are just gonna keep going to it, and it's just gonna kind of naturally like phase out the 360.
yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too. I mean, you kind of seen that. I mean, it's not. You guys got to realize too that this is not really. This generation's different. Even the past
It
two has
is.
really been
It
Yeah.
different
is pretty. It's
because
pretty
if you
awkward. Pretty
if you
awkward.
if you
Hmm.
look at the 360, when the 360 dropped, they completely shut off all support for the Xbox, the original Xbox. There was
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
more
Well, there
support.
was there was
At
a
all,
reason for
right?
that.
Yeah, and so well, there was a. Yeah, I know there was a reason for that, but I'm just saying, like, even with the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, I mean, PlayStation
Hmm.
2 and PlayStation 1, they slowed down like almost immediately once the next version came out. So this
Hmm.
generation and the last one, I think, are probably going to be the last time that happens. I mean, I think from now on, especially as technology moves further on, you're gonna
Right.
see that happen. They're gonna try and they're gonna milk that last generation because if
Yeah.
you think
They,
about it, that's
yeah.
the first
Yeah.
time all three big companies were that successful. You've never
Yeah.
had a generation where
That
all three
every
damn near sold 100 million consoles. That's never
right.
happened before.
Right. I was just gonna
So
say that.
so yeah, it's definitely one of those times in gaming right now where I mean, eventually Xbox 360, I think maybe a year or two from now, I think they're really gonna probably put it to bed after that. Developers are gonna say, you know what, we need to focus on this new
It might
technology,
happen a
these
little
newer
sooner
games.
than like it might. I see it in a year because they already implemented backwards compatibility.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I see it in
Backwards
about a year.
compatibility.
They'd be like,
Definitely.
okay, yeah, it's time to move on.
Well, and I mean, as these games come out, there are going to be more and more features that these last gen consoles can't utilize. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? There's going to be more and
Yeah.
more engines that these last gen consoles can't run,
Especially with this cloud.
especially with
You
the
know what I'm
cloud.
saying?
Whatever.
Dude. When
Yeah. So
that happens, man, it's full speed ahead. It's
Yeah.
one.
yeah,
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I'm
So
saying. That's why it's like, yeah, I totally agree.
yeah, definitely. All right. So that was a great topic, guys. So I wanted to kind of touch on another thing too. As TGS came and went. It
Oh,
was
that.
it wasn't much news about it. I mean, a lot of us here on Twitter and I've been seeing didn't really know that it actually happened. We kind of been
I was
going
It's a
back and
wondering.
total
forth
Yeah.
about
surprise.
this, and
It
and
totally went
it's
over my head.
yeah, it totally went over a lot of people's head. I don't know if that's just because we're mainly the Xbox community and we don't
Right. I
really
was going to say that.
look
Mhm.
for that
I don't
news in
follow a lot. I
particular.
don't follow a lot of Sony guys on Twitter.
Yeah, me too.
True, me either. But I think that's because Microsoft wasn't there this year. Xbox wasn't there. They didn't have a
Right.
presence, so we weren't really looking at TGS. But even so, I personally, for me, I was kind of still expecting something to come out of TGS. Now there
Some
was
kind of
some
news.
news, and I
Yeah.
was expecting Sony to really go to TGS, and they did show a lot of stuff
In
that
state
that
territory, you know.
market likes. But I was still expecting a little bit more for their, for the largest market, which is the North American market. So I kind of wanted to get you guys feedback on what you guys thought about TGS, the little information that you guys did get on what came out. So I'll go ahead and let our guest go first. Go ahead, Anchorman.
Well, I think one of the main issues why we didn't see a lot about it was one, it was at 5 in the morning on the East Coast, which
That's a good point.
which is like no one's awake then for that. And I think it was also like the Twitter sphere wasn't really focused on that as much as they were focused on Destiny's Taken King and Forza.
Oh, definitely.
They were
Definitely.
both
That's
launching
true.
that night as well.
That's true. That's
And
true.
so it was just kind of like we're kind of busy.
Yeah.
People weren't
Yeah,
focusing
better
on it.
things going on.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I mean, well, more immediate things because like TGS is kind of late in the game, honestly. Like last year was okay because all we had was Destiny coming out in September, but I
Yeah.
mean this time around it's kind of late. Like we already have games coming out. Like the whole thing about conferences is to get us prepped for games to come. But when new
Yeah.
games are coming, we kind of don't
Right.
care.
No, that's
This
a
whole
good.
Yeah,
holiday
like,
is on
yeah.
lock.
I've already got all the games I'm hype for the rest of the year.
Right, on lock.
Yeah.
From all the way to like what the next summer. Yeah,
Yeah.
games coming out the next
Yeah.
summer, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
There's a
From
lot of
multiplayer to
games coming
exclusive,
out.
this is games dropping. Games.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
what we've got from the Tokyo Game Show, like what we actually learned, was it's a lot of stuff that's focused towards the Japanese market. It's just stuff that
Yeah.
we're not particularly interested in because we are a
that's-
Western audience. It's
I
that's
agree.
just who we are. But like there was
That's
a couple little things here and there, like they're doing a price drop in Japan for the PlayStation 4, and that's pretty
And I
cool. And
found
that
that out
comes
from
if
the
it
win.
comes to the United States and they make the PlayStation 4 $300.
Yeah, that's
holy
It's gonna be a
It's gonna be
real tough
Yeah.
holiday.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'll actually get one.
Yeah.
yeah. It'll be a
It's
real tough holiday.
$300.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
gonna
looking
lie.
at
I
it.
got one, but you'll have one just chilling. No offense.
Yeah,
Even
no.
my top 5 games don't even
I mean,
start coming out the next year. Hopefully.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean that'll get it.
Yeah,
I mean a lot of people that were on the fence, and even if a lot
Oh
of people
yeah.
that don't like a
$300
PlayStation for $300, they're gonna
Oh
go out
yeah.
and buy
I'll
a
pick up-
PlayStation for $300.
yeah,
one.
Right.
that's what we learned last year and the year before that. People will buy
People
what
will-
is cheap, regardless of what games are coming out.
Regardless.
Mm.
It's word of mouth too. You know, if somebody be like, "Oh yeah, I went and got the PlayStation 4, it was $400. The other one was 500." People gonna be like, "Oh, well, forget that."
Yeah,
You know, I'm gonna
that's
go
true.
get the 400. Yeah,
That's true.
it's just the way the economy is.
That's true. That's true. So what do you think about TGS Elite?
I honestly, to be honest, I didn't even know. I thought it was next week. I found out it was today, and I was trying to search before we got on here. I was trying to search for stuff, and I couldn't find anything. And it's kind of disappointing, but then it's kind of like you ask yourself the question, who does it really hurt? You know, it hurts Sony as a whole. You know, it don't really hurt me. You know, it hurts
Yeah.
them because I support their console, and I have no games to play.
Yeah,
I have to wait, which I feel like is unfair, but what can I do? You know?
that's
Hey,
true.
you got Godzilla, man.
Oh no, I don't have guys. I got Infamous. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, you know what? To be honest with you, and I don't want you guys to think we're bad mouthing Sony. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
not the biggest Sony
I
fan.
went out and
I'm not
spent
the biggest Sony
$400
fan.
on the console. You know, I
Yeah.
went and got it because I'm a Sony fan. You know,
Yeah,
That's-
yeah, definitely.
I
I'm
bleed
not-
green, but I'm a gamer.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not the biggest Sony fan, but honestly, you know, as a gamer, I was expecting a little bit more from TGS. Just me personally. Now, I didn't know what they were going to show or what they were going to announce, but the fact that Microsoft wasn't there, that's their home territory. You put two and two
Mhm.
together, you think
Right?
that
You would think they would have had something drop.
they would have something to be like, oh, holy shit, like,
Yeah.
you know, oh, whoa,
Mhm.
hold on, we need to take another look at this. Like, you know, to have everybody over here, you know, in their other territories and other countries, you know, like, holy shit, what's really going on? They dropped some major news at TGS, and it really
Mhm.
wasn't any news. I understand what Anchor said earlier, it's geared towards the Japanese market, but I
Mhm.
thought, you know, Sony's been really good about capitalizing on Microsoft. I wouldn't call Microsoft not being there a mistake because there's fucking no point.
They haven't had any in a long time though.
There's no
Microsoft
point in
on point.
Microsoft being in,
No, they
in
don't
Japan at
support it.
all.
They don't like
Yeah,
it.
they don't. So it is what it
Yeah.
is. You know, we
I
all
mean,
know.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
So
what, y'all?
what's up?
Everybody was saying that Microsoft missing TGS was gonna hurt them.
No, the
You know
whole
what I'm
100
saying?
people that bought the console
Yeah,
last month in Japan.
right. Exactly.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I
I
just,
doubt it.
it baffles me when I see stuff like that.
I
That's
think
all.
they did the right
I just want
thing.
to say that.
Yeah, they did the right thing.
Yeah,
Save the money, save the flight
yeah.
tickets,
You don't waste
save
money
all
when you
that
don't make
money.
money.
Yeah,
You
you
know what?
don't waste money if you ain't.
Focus on E3 and Gamescom, and they killed it
Exactly.
at both.
Where Sony actually dropped the ball. Unfortunately, the big shows they dropped the ball. They didn't even make it to Gamescom,
Well,
and
they got that
that's a big
Paris
show
show
for me.
coming out. They got that
Yep.
Paris show coming up. Now we don't know what they're going to show us
Now,
yet.
I'm,
So
I'm,
let's
I'm
see.
going to talk about that. I want to talk about
Um,
that for a brief second. Where it's
Go ahead.
TGS is a big deal for the Eastern market.
Uh huh.
It's a big deal for the Eastern market. It's
Yeah.
just not. Gamescom is. I would argue Gamescom is bigger than E3. And
Yeah.
the
yeah.
last year's conference and this year's conference proved that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
They
So
show the best games because Gamescom is geared towards actual gamers. People can actually get in there. You don't need a press pass.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like
Like
going
people
to
That's
the
come from
true.
all over to go to
Good point. Good
Gamescom.
point.
right. It is a good point.
But like TGS is like the third tier thing, but like missing Gamescom, I didn't see there was really a reason to miss Gamescom.
I
They left
know.
Microsoft at open field. But I mean,
And
in the
Microsoft
Paris
brung
thing,
it. You know
I
what I'm
didn't even
saying?
know
They
there was
brung
a
it.
Paris
They
conference
killed it.
before Sony said that's what they were going to.
Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna show. I don't know. I mean, they have this. I guess it's some kind of a. You know how they have the PlayStation. You know, just the PlayStation events, kind of like Nintendo does the Nintendo Directs.
I
But
Yeah,
I
the
know.
don't. I
PlayStation
don't know.
experience or something like
Yeah, I
that.
don't know what they're planning with the pre. I know it's coming out, or they're gonna do it the same week. Halo 5 drops, and I think
Which
they're
is
doing that on purpose. I mean, which is a good
yeah.
move. I mean,
Yeah, I
you
was gonna
steal
say
some
good business
thunder
move.
from the, but I think Halo is Halo. It's gonna do what it does. I don't give a fuck what's going on that week. Halo is gonna
Right.
do what
Halo
it's
is
supposed to
king.
do. Yeah,
Well,
so
I
I
don't
don't
care. I've
care.
Well,
seen
what are they
people
dropping that
criticize
week?
it. People
So they're
criticize it.
doing the Paris show
PlayStation
the same week
experience, I
Halo
think.
comes out.
It's
Some
not
stuff they
Halo because
Oh, the Paris show. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
343 is making it, but dude, Halo 5 looks dope.
Oh yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah. Oh
everything
yeah.
I've seen looks
I thought
amazing.
some of the Bungie guys worked for 343.
They
Most
did.
of them do.
They did.
Most of the
Okay, that's what I
original
thought.
All the
guys
So it's
have
all the
basically
talent from
Bungie.
old Bungie moved over to 343.
pretty much.
Yeah.
343 is the
Yeah.
official Bungie,
Yeah.
just without the
Okay,
name.
so that's all
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Because
That's
Halo
pretty much.
5 looks amazing.
Oh
It
yeah.
looks
It
so
definitely
That
looks.
game's gonna be epic.
And
Warzone. The
I
campaign looks
actually,
so good.
yeah, I actually seen some people saying, I've seen a lot of people. I don't know why. As of recently, matter of fact, the last, I know Iron Wolf. Shout out to Iron Wolf, by the way. Put up
Wolf.
some
What up?
video about it was a little short 5 minute video that Xbox released on it was a single player mission in the new Halo 5 coming up, and there was a lot of hate in the comment section. I don't know if
Yeah.
it was just
Of
some
course.
trolling and things like
Of
that, but there was
course.
a lot
Yeah.
of, I guess, Xbox guys apparently not too happy about it. Now they could have been posing as Xbox guys, I'm not sure, but there was a lot of hate in the
You
comment
never
section
know.
saying that it looked generic and things like that. But we know, we've
I
seen the
loved
game
it.
looks
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah, I loved it. I
yeah.
can't
I mean,
I
wait
I've
for
mean,
that
been
shit to
I've been
come
an
out.
Xbox. I've been a Halo fan since the original Xbox. You know what I mean?
Preach.
And yeah, the first Halo was it was amazing. I remember playing it back in the day and being like, this game is so ahead of its time. And then
yeah,
Halo 2 came out and just set the standard for console multiplayer, pretty much. And then Halo 3 put in amazing hours of that. So I've been a Halo fan since the beginning, and I can't tell you, I'm so excited. Like Halo 4 the campaign was my favorite. People
Oh my
like to hate
God.
on it,
Yeah,
yeah, but
That campaign
the
was fun.
campaign was
yeah,
amazing.
It was
yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
And
it
no matter
was.
I'm
what
coming
you
from a
like,
position I don't even particularly like Halo, but I'm gonna get Halo 5.
Yeah,
yeah,
Halo 5 is co-op campaign, man.
yeah.
it's
It's crazy.
I
It's
know,
You
but I
know
crazy.
what I'm
mean
saying?
that's I mean a
This game is
lot of the
going to
other games have
change
co-op
first-person
campaigns too.
shooters again. Halo has revolutionized the same genre over and over and over.
doing
That's
it
true.
again.
That's
I
true.
mean, part of it for me, which like it symbolized that something new was going to happen, was with Halo 4, where they finally like realized, having a super soldier only being able to walk is kind of
Right.
stupid.
Oh yeah, the sprint.
They
You need a
from
Right.
that from that
You can't
multiplayer
even speed
beta
run.
was
You
like,
want
this is
one
being a
constant
super
speed.
soldier.
well
This
to
is
be
what
Yeah,
you should have been able
to
to
be to
do.
be fair, like
dude.
back then,
Think about it. I
that's
seen
just
them
how first
damn.
person shooters were.
When I seen the trailers for Halo 5, like as far as that one trailer they showed with Locke, and he looked like a fucking. I mean, dude looked like he was on steroids. I mean, he's
Real.
flying around, going through buildings. These dudes are like orbital dropping with no parachutes. I
Yeah.
mean, just all. That's what you think of when you think of a super soldier. When you think of
Right.
Halo, and I love the fact that 343 is taking in that direction because that's exactly what a lot of fans wanted. And like
It
Lee
got that
said,
Halo feel. It's
yeah,
that
and
Halo feel,
Oh, for
y'all.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's Halo time.
definitely, and you got that smooth 60 frame, that buttery 60 frames makes
Woo!
a huge
Buttery.
difference.
Yep.
Makes a huge difference, you know.
Apparently,
And
the Xbox One can't do that, but
we're not gonna get that's a whole nother
we're not gonna.
podcast.
That's what I said. It's a whole other story for a different book.
We won't get
Okay.
into that.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I mean,
No problem. Yeah. So actually, I kind of want to bring up another topic too, since we've been talking about Halo. That's going to be a great game, and obviously it's going to be a game of the year contender. So I honestly want to ask you guys. I want to go around the panel here and kind of ask you guys, what do you guys think is going to be the game of the year? Give me your
Ooh.
game of the year and give me your runner-up. Now you can have more than one runner-up. So I'll go ahead and start with our guest, Anchorman. Go ahead and give me your game of the year and give me your runner-up. If you have more than one runner-up, it's fine. So go ahead.
I believe what my choice is fairly obvious.
Fallout 4.
I'm so compromised for Fallout 4, it's not even funny. But I mean, in terms of game of the year, I haven't played Fallout 4 clearly, but I mean, I'm reserving that spot. I'll judge it after maybe a month of playing it. But I mean, honestly, out of the games I've played right now, it seems like the obvious choices are between Witcher 3 and Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh yeah, preach.
And honestly, if you look at the politics of the situation, I think the only way Metal Gear Solid 5 will win Game of the Year is if they feel bad that it's Kojima's last Metal Gear game, and they say, "Oh, well, we'll give it to you." And Witcher 3 definitely deserves a Game of the Year.
It was a much more polished game
excellent
too.
game.
Definitely. Those are some
And
great.
you know the best thing about Witcher?
What's up?
They still giving out free DLC, full stories, full
Yeah,
story
yeah.
missions,
Yep. Full missions
still
for free.
That's true.
free.
Can't really beat that. So go ahead,
Cannot beat
Elite.
that, man.
What you got for game of the year, and you got a runner-up.
The game of the year, I don't want to really pick a solid one yet because we still got hitters coming, we still got
Okay,
Rise of the Tomb Raider
we just
coming.
shooting this shit.
But
It
yeah,
don't
I'm gonna
matter.
go. I'm gonna
Shoot for the
go.
moon. Shoot for the moon.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with if the end of the year was over and I theoretically played everything, Halo 5 game of the year for me.
Okay. All right.
But as of now, like if we go games from now, I go Witcher 3 game of the year, and I'll go runner up Mad Max.
Wow.
Mm,
That's
Mad
a
Max.
super. Okay.
Mad Max was
Good
an
game.
amazing game, man. Grab
Okay.
that.
All right. So what you got, Alex?
Yeah, the game I'm most hyped for right now is definitely Halo 5. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I haven't played it yet, so I can't
Yeah.
tell. And then the next after that, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you know that. So
Okay.
Yep.
obviously Battlefront. I'm a little disappointed that there's no Galactic Conquest in there.
It really is
Yeah.
disappointing.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna tweet that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It hurts,
tweet that.
man.
But the
I'm gonna
game
try-
looks
try to
great
get it
Big-ass
done.
universe.
Maybe-
Yeah.
maybe
It was
they-
good.
Maybe they
good.
could patch it in. Maybe they could patch it in after launch. So
Let's hope.
I don't think-
Let's
I
hope
don't-
so.
Yeah, I'll tweet
Right.
them. I'll try to get it
That'd
going.
be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool if they patch that in after launch.
But
Definitely.
yeah,
I'm
those
picking
two.
it up too because the game looks so damn sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks great.
All right,
Yeah.
so I guess I'll go ahead and give my picks as of right now. Now, moving forward, I'm gonna say Halo 5 for my game of the year, just because the campaign looks amazing. As you know,
Yeah.
none of us have played it as of yet, but the damn game looks amazing. Graphically, from story wise. I mean, just the way they've been presenting it. Do you guys even know? Kind of going off topic a little bit, that the Hunt of Truth recently won an award.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the little podcast that I can't remember the episodes they did online, the little audio episodes they did, the audio
Mhm.
logs, actually won an award recently.
Oh, that's what's up.
They should turn that.
Oh, wow.
They could turn that into like a little sitcom, and it would on like HBO or something if they wanted to.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
how
Winning
good that
awards.
was.
Yeah,
It
that's
was really
good.
good.
They won
That
So,
is
that.
good.
and that was just some side topic, but that's how high the quality is going to be for this game. That's why I think it's definitely my
Got
game
a
of the
quality
year.
show for a quality game, man.
Yeah,
Did
definitely.
you guys check it out?
What the
I'm
Hunter
about
Truth?
to. I've been trying to check it out, but I haven't
Oh
checked
yeah,
it out yet.
I listened to every single one of them. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
already listened.
It took me a little while to get into it, but once I
Yeah.
did,
My next off day, I will. I'm pretty
like
sure.
it's like listening to a movie, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It'll get you stuck, man. You'll be sitting there listening, though, for sure. So
Off topic
anybody
again.
listening?
Any one of y'all got the Halo Chief Master Collection? Y'all got anybody want to?
Yeah, we all got that. Yeah.
All right, we all can run there because I want to run through a couple of the campaigns, a couple of the
Okay.
story missions. So we
Okay.
all
Okay.
can do that too whenever. Hey, what
Okay.
happened to Anchorman?
Oh, looks like we lost. Okay, no, he's back now. Okay, looks
Okay,
like
there
we
you
lost
go.
him for a second.
What up,
Looks like
dude?
we lost him.
I'm back.
Okay, there
Sorry.
you go. He's back. That's all right, no problem. So my game of the
Thunderstorm.
year would be Halo, and my runner-up. It's kind of a close race, but I'd edge it out to The Witcher over Metal Gear Solid. A reason being is because I feel like The Witcher is a better game. It's a more
Witcher is
polished
good,
game
man.
overall. The
Hmm.
DLC does help that it is free, but that's not the biggest reason. The biggest reason I just feel like the game is just CD Projekt Red did a fan fucking tastic game with that job. You know,
Yeah,
from
he's good,
character
man.
development to the missions to the open world to
The way the
graphically to
the
sound to
way how
music.
how fluidly the
Yeah, how
story
fluid the
moves.
story
You
move
know
and
what I'm
everything.
saying?
Just
Yeah.
the game is
It's
totally
amazing.
immersive, and it's a really really huge game you can get really caught up in. So I think that edges out Metal Gear. Metal Gear is Metal Gear. Great story. Great characters. Snake.
Right.
You always love that type of stuff. But I think The Witcher
Hmm.
3 edges that out. Personally for me. So that would be my runner-up for Game of the Year. But I think it'll be a close. Hypothetically, I think it'll be close. But I actually think if we had to go from now, The Witcher 3 would probably win Game of the Year if we had to go
Oh
from there,
yeah.
as we've already played.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
side note, how many hours did you guys put in The Witcher 3? How
I
long did
can't.
Uh,
When they got over like 70, I just stopped counting, man. I was like, this shit is sad.
Yeah, that's
I
cool,
think the
man.
last time I
Had that
checked
music in my head.
was 130.
you had 130
Yeah.
hours, Anchorman? Jesus
Ooh,
Christ.
Last time
that's
I
Yeah,
what's up
checked.
though.
I think I was definitely over 100
That
somewhere
game
around there.
is you got your money's worth, man. That game
Yeah,
damn good.
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh, definitely.
You even got to a point to where you're like, okay, I have about 100 hours in this. I'm probably need to take a step back because I'm probably not going to finish anytime soon. You know what pissed me off? The goddamn achievements.
Oh my
Because
God, man.
like,
You be working all day like it's a 9 to 5 job, and you get like a 10 gamer score. You be like, what?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Damn,
the
Yeah.
gamer
you just
scores
waiting till you start
scarce,
putting in
man.
the game.
gamer scores took a while to get on that one.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've seen some people have some screenshots of 100% though on
yeah, yeah.
so
I don't got anybody on my
kudos to
friends
those
list, I
guys.
don't think, but I
Shout
know
out to those
people.
guys.
Yeah, shout
Yeah,
out to those
shout
guys.
out to y'all.
That I couldn't even think about doing that. Forget
That's some
that.
dedication right there.
Oh man, that's like
Yeah,
like you said, it
man.
was damn near a part-time job doing
I'm telling you, man. You might as well come in the house and clock back in.
it.
Dude,
Really.
marriages have been broken up over The Witcher.
Yeah, man. I even seen Mooch. Mooch almost lost his mind. Shout out to
Man.
Mooch, by the way.
Shout
Mooch was supposed to,
Mooch.
by the way, when you get y'all, everybody listening right now, everybody watching, Mooch was supposed to be on the show. He had some other things he has to do. So maybe he's gonna be gone for a little bit. So once he gets back, we'll definitely have him on. Mooch is always welcome. I know he may be
Yeah.
tuning in right now. So what up, Mooch?
Shout
If
out to
you are
Mooch,
tuning in
man.
for sure.
Mooch,
So
Mooch.
so hopefully we get him on here sometime soon too. But we got my boy Anchorman on, so no problem there.
Right.
So so I kind of wanted to get in something else with you guys also too. I don't really play sales too much. I've made multiple videos on sales, but I kind of wanted to touch on the August MPDs. Now none of us really have any official numbers. We're all assuming, and it's kind of been assumed on Twitter that the August MPDs were close. Now there are some numbers from PlayStation and from Xbox. Sony did say that they were the leaders for August in both software and hardware. There were no official numbers, and Microsoft did come out and say that Xbox One sales were 26% up from last year, the same time last year. So we
Man,
both know they're
Microsoft.
both competing. They're both doing well. Now I want to kind of get an idea around the room, go around the room, and see what you guys think about the August MPDs, and is the gap closing? Kind of just general idea on what you guys think about that. We'll go ahead and start with our guest again.
With MPDs, when I got started with my YouTube channel, I used to care MPDs a lot. I used to be obsessed with that kind of stuff and like analyzing the numbers we used to get if we ever got any numbers. And the more I keep looking at them, the more it's more like a side fascination, where it's like, oh, well, I'll look at it. I'll say like, oh, well, it looks like this game's selling well. Like on the rare occasion, oh, this one sold more on Xbox One. That's odd, or something along those lines. And I don't put a lot of stock in it anymore.
Yeah,
I really don't.
yeah. I feel you. I mean, it's not a huge deal. Like I said, I've made multiple videos on my channel about it. I don't really play sales too much. To be honest, it is a real thing and it does matter. To not, ultimately maybe not to consumers. That's more for investors. To see how well the brand is doing. Those numbers are for them in
Hmm.
particular. They're really not for us, but they do show the numbers to show consumers, hey, my platform is doing well. You may want to come buy it. So it's nice for consumers to see, but it's more so for investors. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. So go ahead, Elite. What do you think about the August MVDs? As far as them being close.
I've never been just like y'all. I'm a gamer, so
Okay.
I've never really cared about NPDs or sales
Good
or nothing
answer.
like
Good
that.
answer.
You know what I'm saying?
Good
But
answer.
to be honest with you, I don't have any official numbers like you said, so I would say it's close because it was close. I believe it's close. Of course, Sony probably pulled off with the victory because they had the Metal Gear Solid bundle. Um, but I feel like this holiday, yeah, it'll be Microsoft with backwards compatibility and all these games dropping. All these
Mhm.
bundles dropping and everything, all these coming out for everything for gamers this holiday season. I feel like they are gonna pull ahead, which it really doesn't matter for me as a consumer, but I feel like it matters for them to prove a point.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
It
know what I'm
definitely
saying?
it definitely matters. It definitely matters to them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead, Alex.
Um, yeah, I get what you guys are saying, especially when the consoles first launched. It was like, it was way more of a huge topic. It's like, all right, who's going to take the lead this gen? Who's going to take the lead this gen? And I think
hmm
ultimately, we just want to see that our consoles do well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the fact that at this point in the U.S., it's really close. What was it, like a 7,000 or something?
Yeah,
And
I don't know exactly. We don't have any official
Yeah.
numbers. That's my disclaimer. I want to make sure everybody out there. I don't want
No
the comment
official
section
numbers.
okay.
being flamed up. We're
Uh,
not using official numbers.
then,
Nobody has official numbers as of yet. So we're
uh,
just assuming here. But
so don't quote
um
us on that. Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
don't quote
Alex,
us
you're
on
the
that.
new Michael Pachter.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want another Pactor incident. That's for sure. So,
Right.
I mean,
Definitely. Yeah.
and I kind of my opinion on it is that I definitely feel the same way that these other guys do here because ultimately it doesn't matter. As an Xbox fan, as a gamer overall, it just shows me that gaming is here to stay. It's healthy right now and it's
Yeah.
doing
hmm
well, and that's all I really care about. That just means I'm getting more games later on. So ultimately,
Yep.
if this trend continues, it'll be fine. And I think ultimately it'll even out. Tends thing to kind of fall where they are. Sony has a huge lead right now as far as overall sales, which is nice,
Hmm.
because they have been dominating in outside markets and in the U.S.
Yeah.
for the most
Yeah.
part of this
All with
generation.
marketing though. They've been
Yeah,
doing it all with
definitely,
marketing.
definitely, they've been taking advantage of some
And
great
you can't
marketing.
do it sounds bad, but you can't do nothing but applaud it because they've been doing
Yeah,
it with nothing but marketing.
definitely, definitely, and they've been doing what they're supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to do. So
Yep.
hats off to Sony for doing that. But Xbox, strong brand, still
Strong.
sales have been up damn near every month. If you look at
Yeah.
that, they've been reporting that sales have been up, from the same time this year as last year. So that's always good. We're seeing growth, which is what any company that's selling a product wants to see.
hmm
So
Yep.
if Apple was selling an iPhone 6 and they saw sales were up 20% from the iPhone 5,
Heck
they're
yeah.
happy. They're happy
Hell
with
yeah.
that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And
So
Seeing
technically,
green, not red,
technically,
you know?
yeah,
Android dominates Apple globally. But
yeah, and
yeah,
a lot of
Apple's
people don't know that
killing
though.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
They
and
wouldn't know
Android
that.
is
They
like an
would assume because
85% market share or something
right,
like
That's
that.
crazy.
So
yeah.
yeah, definitely, definitely. So but iPhones sell like crack in the 80s.
Yep.
I was about
So
to say,
you
man. Shit.
you can't keep an iPhone in the store. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I'm an
So.
Apple fan. It's the truth.
All right, fellas. So I mean, that was definitely a good topic there. So I kind of want to touch on a couple other things before we wrap it up here. Not gonna make it too long of a podcast here today. But there were some other few topics that I want to touch on. Some other smaller things that went on as of recently. Now, this may be a touchy subject, but I did want to address it. Now, this may be a little bit controversial. I kind of want to give you guys a disclaimer, so you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. If I don't want to incite
We
like a
live for
fanboy war.
controversy.
But um, as you know, there this console generation has been kind of defined by the console war, fanboys going back and forth. Personally for me, it's fun. I do it for
Mhm.
entertainment. I don't mind the back and forth. Nobody's if anybody talks about me or says anything crazy or puts anything up or bad comment, it's all in fun. I don't really pay it too much mind, and I don't go off the handle and lose my mind or anything like that. It's entertainment. It's WWE. It's not that big of a deal. But I kind of want to address something that I just recently ran into. And it's funny because Anchorman's here, and he told me that this would happen like a couple weeks ago. Me and him were having a conversation on the Xbox. I can't remember what we were doing at the time, but we were playing on Xbox Live. And we were having a conversation, and he mentioned that this would happen. I was talking to somebody on Twitter. I kind of outlined a scenario and let you guys give your input. And he was defending somebody we all know. Now, well, we know him. They're a Sony guy, and he was saying that this gentleman was not biased. And I kind of chimed in like, are you kidding me? Have you seen his video? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you serious? And he was like, oh, well, it doesn't matter anyway. I'm a PC guy, so I don't really care about
Oh
it.
my
And so
God,
I
tell
left it alone.
the
I
story.
left it alone. I left it alone. I left it alone. I don't really engage in a back and forth too often.
Hmm.
And so as soon as I stepped away from the conversation, I get bombarded with the person that he was defending showed up in the conversation, and all of a sudden I get bombarded with like 20 tweets about how much of an Xbot I am and all these different things, and I got sent some weird video, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I stepped away
Yeah.
from the conversation, and you said you were a PC guy. Like, what happened to that? And so I kind of wanted to get you guys, just some opinions on, the fanboy console war back and forth thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with Alex this time.
Um, yeah, I mean, who are we talking about, if you don't mind? Do you want to name any
No,
names?
I don't really want to put any names out there because it's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I kind of wanted to get your opinion on the entire. That was kind of a minute
Example.
situation, an example of the
Okay.
of a larger thing that's going on right now in the video game.
Yeah. No, it's a good topic actually. Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's entertaining sometimes. It's funny as hell. From both sides, you know what I mean? People like make memes and shit. And sometimes it's funny, but ultimately, I think I can be an Xbox fan and a Microsoft fan and not bash Sony all day and not get in fanboy fights all day. I'm an Xbox fan. I love gaming. Xbox is the platform that I game on mostly. So that's mostly, and they have the most exclusives I'm interested in. So um,
Okay,
that's why I'm always talking about it, and that's why I love talking about it.
fair
But
point.
yeah, I think you can definitely be a big fan, and just not stay away from the fanboy fighting as much. But yeah, sometimes it's funny.
Yeah, fair point. Fair point. Go ahead, Elite.
Yeah, I agree with both y'all fellas, man. It's just people. I see it all as entertaining because it's just something to do when you're bored and ain't nothing. You're not really playing the game. You're at work or something. You just
Yeah.
flick through the comment section or something like that. That's how I see it. And a lot of people take this plastic, what I'm saying, these corporation stuff a little bit too serious. And
Mhm.
I'll debate. I won't debate video debate. I won't hop on a podcast and debate, but I'll debate on Twitter if I feel like I'm right and I know I'm right. I'll say I'm right, but if it goes too far, I'm stopping and blocking. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? I don't have time because it's video games. I don't have time for
Yeah,
disrespect and the threats and the.
yeah,
I don't mind being an Xbox because like all y'all say, I'm a gamer. I have a PS4, but I bleed green.
yeah.
Microsoft been treat me well since the OG Xbox. You know what I'm saying? So so it's all good gaming wise. I ain't buy a PS4 to be an Xbox, but I don't mind being an Xbox if I sit here and parade around and say I like my. I don't mind them parading around liking their console. And this
Yeah,
dude's a PC dude.
yeah,
Those terrible ports. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, stop being silly. And it amazes me that everybody's a PC gamer when they're quote unquote don't have a PS4.
Unbiased. Yeah.
Everybody's a PC gamer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Come on,
I don't
man.
mean to interrupt, but I have a PC as well, but I never play the damn
Oh,
thing because
yeah, come
my
on, because
my TV
consoles
is
are convenient.
right there. Yeah.
They're for
Yeah.
gamers. We come home, we want to play something that's set in stone. We don't got to worry about patches and worry about getting
Mhm.
viruses or pirating licenses and all that
Yeah.
crazy crap. You know what I'm
Yeah, it's just
saying?
more convenient. It's easy use. That's what it is, man. It's
Yeah.
easy use. Why drive
Yeah.
to the grocery store that's 2 miles away when I can go to the corner store that got the same thing? You know what I'm
Same
Yeah.
saying?
thing.
Like, why make that long trip?
Why would
You
I
know,
do that? Right.
analogy,
Yeah.
but what's the difference? So go ahead. Let's go ahead and let our guest go. Go ahead, Anchor man. What you think about that, man?
Just piggybacking off of that real quick. One analogy, like I talk to PC guys on a regular basis, and the best analogy that I've ever seen, and one that pretty much everybody agrees on, is it's the equivalent of buying a car, where consoles are you go to the dealership, you buy your Ford, you buy your Nissan, you buy whatever you want. and it's just what you're into. You buy that, and if you're just not interested in putting in the time and the effort to make that car into like a classic hot rod or something like that, I mean that's up to you. It's your money. You do what you want to do, and it's ultimately they all drive.
Yeah.
Some of them
Right.
drive faster, some of them drive slower, some are better all terrain.
Yeah, it's
Some
true.
sound better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah,
That's
like
true.
going to the original topic though, one thing I've absolutely hated on YouTube is people saying they're neutral. That I'm not biased. That I'm not this,
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
that.
I hate saying that too. I see it
Everybody
everywhere,
Yeah.
is
too.
biased.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody has a preference.
Everybody is.
And it's whether or not they let it manifest.
Right.
It's how if you acknowledge your bias and you say, hey, I'm an Xbox fan. I'm telling you straight up right now, I'm probably going to have positive Xbox opinions. If you acknowledge your bias, and that's what the biggest issue right
Yeah.
now is. I hate when people say they're neutral because nobody's truly neutral. Everybody has a favorite. Everybody has a preference, and it's going to either show up subtly or very explicitly.
Definitely, and I
And
feel the same way.
That's
And
the one thing.
to be honest with you, that was really my point of even bringing that up. Now, I was debating in my head on whether to even talk about that because I didn't want to incite any kind of back and forth in the comment section or anything like that. But that was my point, was that I stepped away from the conversation. Now, I'm a pretty normal dude. I don't really go back and forth. I will, I see comments. Sometimes I do jump in, back and forth comments. Me and a lot of guys are close. And, I'm an Xbox guy, and, definitely I'm going to defend the platform that I'm on if I feel somebody's incorrect.
Mhm.
But my point was that it was the thing where he was basically saying, he was talking about a friend of mine and saying that, hey, this guy is spreading misinformation, but this other guy is not. But he clearly makes the same kind of videos. Like, what YouTube are you
hmm
watching? Like,
right.
if he's saying Xbox every other video, what are you talking about? But then
Right.
when I bring that up, you're like, you know what? I don't care. I'm a PC guy though. As soon as I leave and the other guy shows up, you're like, fuck Xbox, man. That dude is a bot, man. He's a fucking idiot. What are you talking about? Like,
And he's grown men.
He doesn't
You know
yeah,
know.
what I'm saying? That's
So,
the
like what are
worst
you?
part. He's grown men, dude. It's crazy.
And he just, and I was cordial. Me and him had a decent little 5 minute conversation, just back and
Right.
forth. He's like, "Oh, I play on PC." I'm like, "No problem, dude. It's cool." He's like, "All right, good, man. Big ups." Blah, blah. I left. As soon as the other dude showed up, oh man, fuck that dude. That dude's an Xbot. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, what did I just do? Like, I was trying to be cordial and, what I'm saying, just trying to be.
And it
I
still
just pointed out
backfired.
something because, and it's still, and I don't really, and I'm with Anchorman. Pick a side. I said it last
Right.
podcast.
yeah,
Please pick a side. Don't
You
sit
can
up
be
there and.
biased and be. You don't have
It's
to be negative
okay.
too. You know what I'm
preference.
I
saying?
do
You
it
can
with
be
It's not
nice
sports.
about
necessarily a
it.
preference.
I can't stand the Cowboys. I'm a Steelers fan. In
Right.
sports, you would never call me a fanboy. Have you ever been called a fanboy for being a supporter of your team? I've never been called a
No,
fanboy
I'm a
No.
Rams fan.
for Steelers. I'll take a bullet
I'm
for
a
a
Rams
Steelers.
fan to the right. I'm a Rams fan to the death of me. You know what I'm
Definitely,
saying?
that's
It's
what I'm
all
saying. I'll
day.
take a
Same.
bullet for my team. So I look at it the same way. Now, if you're
Go
gonna
to
be real, be who you are. It's okay.
yeah.
Nobody's gonna. If you get judged, it's just the internet. Nobody cares that
I was
goddamn
just gonna
much.
say people take people opinion too serious. It's all opinions.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
the
all
internet's for
opinion.
opinions, and people
And
just
you know what's
flip out.
crazy? Anchorman told me. When did you tell me that? Like weeks ago. Remember you told me we had that
Was it when I was
conversation
doing
that
the
one late
channel
night?
art? Or was it before that?
Yeah, it was actually you were doing the channel art that night. You were telling me how certain things were gonna start
Yeah,
happening.
that was
And that
2
was
weeks
one of the
ago.
things that you were telling me. It was about a month, maybe? Almost a month? Almost a month ago
Nah,
you were
it could
telling
have
me
been a month
something like
because
that.
I was doing the channel art. I just moved to my apartment.
Yeah.
I haven't been
Yeah.
here yet.
Oh,
So,
okay. So it was a few weeks. It was a few weeks ago, 2, 3 weeks ago, something like that. Right around when I first started my channel, he mentioned that, and I wanted to bring that up too because you did mention that, and it actually did happen. I was like, God damn it, he did say that too. That was gonna start happening once
Hmm.
once people started maybe knowing who I was a little bit more, and dude sent me a video, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Oh
He
man, you gotta
DM'd
take.
me, and I'm like, what is this video? Like, it was just awkward, and I was like, what is this trash that he's sending me? Like,
You
I
got
don't
you
care
got
about
you got a
this.
fan.
I
People be
guess,
Yeah,
man.
tripping.
I mean,
I
I'm
don't.
in an
It
argument
is
right
just
now on
video
Twitter.
game.
Like, there's a guy on Twitter right now because I put out my little video about uh, Gaming Bolt. Gaming Bolt put out an article claiming, oh, PS4 is going to get PlayStation 2 backwards compatibility. When you click on it, it explains actually through PSN Classics what they're doing is porting over games for you to buy it again.
Holy
And
shit! And
I
the
found that
title was
hilarious
backwards
because,
compatibility.
yeah, they claim in the title backwards compatibility, and it's like, no, even in your own article, you say it's not backwards compatibility. So I made a short 45-second video, classic. Oh, here's the link, shows the title. People are excited, jumping around. I had Little Pony dancing, and then it actually stops, and you read it, and then it's totally different, and it has nothing to do with that. And then and I said, well, why the
That was a
fuck you
classic.
lying? Put that little thing at
That
the
was
end.
that was some of
And
your best
it
work.
was directed towards the gaming bolt, but some dude he got so butthurt about it. He was like, "This is
Hilarious,
typical
man.
Xbox faggotry. This is
Oh my
bullshit."
god.
And it's like
Why
in
does people always gotta
comedy.
use like homo terms when they talk about Xbox fans? Why does it always gotta be something like gay, man? Oh my god. He's tripping,
That's
man. It's always
hilarious. It was a good
some
video though, and I
rude.
seen
Yeah,
that
it was
article too.
hilarious.
You know what? Ironically, I want to bring up something else too. You guys probably haven't seen, but Gaming Bolt put up an article today, another article stating that TGS, PlayStation or Sony's TGS, was the way all gaming shows should be.
Oh no, I
That was the
seen it. I
exact
didn't read it.
article.
I just kept
They
going.
said PlayStation 4 TGS is the way all gaming shows or whatever should be made or should be done. I'm sitting there like, what the hell are they talking about? Now, I'm
Well,
not
I didn't even
bashing
know it
Sony,
was today. You
and I'm
know.
sure they did a great job. I haven't seen, TGS or anything like video or anything, but I'm sure they put on a good show for the Japanese consumers. But come on now, let's
They did
not.
a good job. Like, it
Yeah,
was
and I'm, and
games,
I'm, and
games,
I wasn't.
games. They showed all that
And
stuff, but like they didn't stop and talk about sales. They didn't stop and do stuff like that. And like they saved all the tiny hardware stuff to like the very end. They didn't
Mhm.
bother with a lot of it.
oh no,
So
no
yeah,
problem.
I
That's
think
exactly
structurally it was fine, but like
no,
the
exactly.
content was like, meh. All right.
Yeah, it
So it
definitely.
was all
Yeah,
basically content that nobody really cares about,
yeah, and I
honestly.
have
Well,
and I
nobody
got a
in the
couple of
West
people that I
cares
know on
about.
Twitter.
Right. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I got a couple of people that I know on Twitter that are really into those kind of games and into Japanese culture, Japanese games, JRPGs, those kind of games, those niche titles, things like that. And they weren't really thrilled. I had a guy, one of my buddies actually on Twitter, send me a long ass DM about how underwhelmed because he was really looking forward to their TGS, and he sent me a damn tweet about how underwhelming he was and how pissed off he was, especially. Oh, we want to go over this too. Just to get off topic here, Persona 5 getting delayed. Now that
Oh
was one
yeah.
of Sony's big titles. Well,
Hmm.
I guess air quotes big titles coming
Yeah, I
into
was gonna
next
say
year,
the Halo
and
killer,
so
quote
that's
unquote.
that's being pushed back. So what do you guys think about that title being pushed back? What do you think about that, Alex?
I just think, in my opinion, they didn't really have much anyway this year. I think that's pretty much, in everyone's opinion, they didn't have much coming this year. And now they have even less. So it's like, but another thing is, I've heard people talking about, oh, Persona, like, hyping up. It's not really my type of game, but, I've heard people were excited about this. And now it's delayed till next year. And it's like, damn, another one?
Yeah, I mean it. I mean, what can you say? You can't. And I don't know why it's delayed. I didn't really read the article. Now, if somebody can tweet me the article, I'll read it. But I didn't really read the article. I just saw the title. Not exactly sure why they delayed it. I don't know if it was production or maybe they
I
changed development.
From what I saw, it was just a trailer at TGS that basically confirmed it's coming next year. That's what I saw.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if there's more to it, but that's what
Oh,
I saw.
okay. All right. Go ahead,
I,
Elite.
I bet they're just not done with the game,
You
and
think so?
that's been my biggest issue with this generation so far, is people announcing games like 2, 3 years out before they're
Announce
actually
them
going to
just for
come.
pre-orders, man. That's all they do. They announce them just to
I
get the
know,
pre-order
but
money.
like, stuff like that. Like no one's holding a pre-order for 2 years for your game. No
Right.
one's doing that.
Right. Right.
Like
For no game.
I
Ever.
honestly believe that you shouldn't even announce your game exists until you're 9 months out from launch.
Exactly,
Yeah.
where
like
the
Bethesda
game's
did with Fallout
almost
4.
done.
Yeah, that brings
No,
up
they
a
did 6
That's a
months.
Fallout
Prime
4.
example.
Yeah, they did a great
Prime
job.
example. Yeah. Great job.
yeah. They held on to
It's
that
like
till
they're
everybody knew it
done
was
with
coming out.
Fallout 4. They're
Yeah,
done. They could launch it
yeah.
right now, for all we know.
They probably could. Yeah,
Hmm.
you're absolutely right. And that
I
brings up
read
another
somewhere that
point.
it's done.
Some other smaller things that came out of TGS that you guys might not have caught. One, excuse me, was that the Shenmue creator, they are actually asking for
For more
more money
money?
through
I was just
PayPal.
finna bring that up.
Through
This is
PayPal now.
bullshit.
And
Well,
Yeah, that's
wait, let
crazy,
me finish.
man.
There's one more. There's one more. We got more information. This is not about. This is Last Guardian information. At TGS, there was no playable demo. You know what they had at TGS for Last Guardian?
The
This
same
thing.
demo?
They had a fucking big ass hologram where and a red ball. You pick the red ball up, and the hologram comes running out of that big dog.
Oh fuck, that's
No,
fucking
no
creepy. What the
gameplay.
fuck?
Zero gameplay.
That
Just a
big
big
dog with
hologram.
the uneven wings?
A red ball and a hologram. That's the only thing they had at TGS for Last Guardian.
Oh my
nice.
I mean,
god,
that's
man.
pretty
Jeez.
cool.
It's
A
cool,
giant hologram.
but
I mean,
Nah.
that's pretty cool.
Like a hologram of that
But
big ass bird dog?
gameplay-
That's creepy, man.
yeah.
I'd be like, what the fuck?
No, it's.
Still
I was
does.
reading through the article, and that's what they were saying. It scared a lot of people. It was just.
That
What's
shit, it
something
ain't
fun?
scary, it's just flat out creepy. Big ass
But my
hologram
thing is that
bird
they
dog.
didn't have. You don't have any playable demo, and
Right.
that
Yeah.
kind of game is
That's
for that
That game
market.
not coming out,
And
man.
you don't have
That
a
game is
demo.
I don't
Yeah.
think that game is not coming out, and if it is, it's not coming out for the next. It's just not. I don't think it's coming out at all. To be honest with you,
What do you?
It might
they
not.
showed
I mean,
the
it's
same
been, what, 8
trailer.
years?
You know, it was extended a little bit. It was the same trailer.
I don't know. What do you think about the Anchor Man? You think it's coming out anytime soon?
Honestly, I can't say anything about Last Guardian because what was it? The best comment I ever saw regarding Last Guardian was on a Scalebound video, and it says Scalebound, Last Guardian for real men.
That's a that's a
Nice.
good
You
quote.
gotta give it the evil
That's
laugh
a
on
good
that.
quote. But I mean, that game is turning into Half-Life 3, man. It's getting in Half-Life 3 territory, man.
Yeah, no, that game is
I
non-existent.
wish they would make that. I wish they would make Half-Life.
Oh God, don't even give me. That's a whole nother
Oh yeah, I
conversation.
was
I
finna say we gotta have a whole podcast about that.
Yeah, we can have a whole
Podcast about that, man.
Yeah, I don't know,
I think
man.
every gamer could agree that we want that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just really don't.
PS4 exclusive. I'd probably buy a PS4 to play it.
Yeah, I was about to say I
More
blow all
than
the
likely.
dust off the top of mine.
Yeah, more than likely. But Gabe Newell's old eccentric ass don't want to put a game out. So
Right.
I don't want to. I'm not a huge fan of that guy either. But let's go ahead and move on. Let's go back to this Shenmue thing with the PayPal. And
Yeah, that's
we all know that the game has a Kickstarter. I think they hit the goal. I think last time I checked it was 10 million.
I think they
No,
got
they hit
close.
6 million.
They got
close.
they hit
Yeah,
6
they hit
million.
six.
Okay, so they
Yeah,
Their
six,
bottom
yeah,
goal
they
was
hit
like
six.
$2 million just so it'll happen. The 10 million was the max goal, but they
okay.
hit like 6 million.
They hit
They
like
kept
6
raising the goal every time they kept getting money.
It's like
Okay,
six-
so now they're trying to reach that goal through PayPal, which is already bad enough because you drag that man out on the stage. He's been wanting to make the game, and then
Right.
you don't fully fund the damn game. Like that, I don't
Use the man like he's a puppet,
I don't
man.
understand
yeah,
that.
it's just
And
weird.
I mean, I kind of want to get you guys' opinions on what do you guys feel about that. Now they're funding it, trying to get the funding through PayPal. I mean, anybody got an
it's called a
opinion on
slacker backer where
Yes.
it's called a slacker backer where they had the Kickstarter and they got the money, but they want a little bit more, and it's open now. Now it's through the end of December, I think, where you can donate
That's
money.
crazy.
And
That's-
I think it's an insult. It's an insult to Yu Suzuki, where specifically because they said Sony was partnering with them. And for all we know, it's only coming out to PC and PS4. And if that's the case, and they're going to have some sort of exclusivity, and they brought him out on stage to use them for their PR, they should put some money towards it. They put the money towards Call of Duty. They
That's all
decided
I
to use it on
was gonna
that. And
You know what I'm saying? They could have funded
insult
that
to
game
him.
with all the third party deals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, that
it's an insult to the man. I mean,
It is.
The fact this
an
is the
insult
part
to
that really
gamers.
condemns it to me. That he has to come out after he got $6 million asking for more money.
More money.
And it's like, I thought Sony was going to foot the bill for whatever they didn't make.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what
But no,
I
they
know he
gave
didn't
Activision the
explicitly
rest of
state
their
it,
money.
but I
Yeah,
thought
it
they were
was.
going to do more.
I mean, so now that brings into question how much is Sony actually backing this game?
Exactly.
Was that more of a PR stunt just to say, "Hey, we got Shenmue on our platform"?
I
Because
think
it
they probably
actually,
was.
from what I'm seeing, like it doesn't look like they're putting. They don't really. We're not seeing much interest from Sony in this game. You show interest by saying, "Hey, we're
Right.
making this game. This game is
They're
getting made.
just
We're 100% backing this game. It's done already. We just
they're
need to
only
make
using
it."
this game because they already said they have no games coming. So they're using this game to try to fill the
yep,
void. That's it.
yep. And it's a little bit annoying.
I'm
People were
The
like,
Last Guardian got
people
announced
were
that they burned
saying,
that video because they didn't have no other content.
well, people were saying like that's one of like Sony won E3. You know, they showed the Last Guardian, which was showed 8 years ago. Shenmue
Right.
3, which is a Kickstart, and apparently they're not even
Right.
putting money down on it. So
Right.
the whole thing is just really weird.
How much did old boy put down? What, 20, $30?
Yoshida, he put down
Yeah.
You know what they
$31.
need to do though?
Yeah. He was like, it wasn't payday. I was like, what? What did you just say?
Here's the thing. Be honest. The one thing they need to do, and this is honestly my last thought on Shenmue, they need to announce it for Xbox. If they
Yeah.
That
announce it
thing
for
would get
Xbox, all the
funded
stakes are in
so
the mud.
quickly.
They'll
That
probably get more. Yeah, they'll get
But
more.
the
all the
internet
stakes
would
in the mud who
explode.
said, "Oh, screw it, screw Shenmue. I used to support it. I'm against it."
Yeah.
Now that it's exclusive to PlayStation and
There.
PC, all the people who were against it will flip.
Yeah.
They'll flip
I got
out.
a, I got a
They'll
question
throw
though.
the money, and I
I
guarantee within that 1 month they would get $4 million to reach
got a
that $10
question
million
though,
goal.
Anchorman. I got a question for you. Now this is the $1 million question. Do you think that if the shoe was on the other foot and Phil Spencer brought him out on the stage, you think that game would already be funded?
He wouldn't have
No.
brought him off in no Kickstarter. He would have funded the game.
I'll tell you one thing though, the
It,
media would have
the situation was flipped the exact opposite way.
jumped
I
on
don't
my.
think it would be funded.
You don't think it would be funded?
This is one of those things where it needed the entire player base to make it happen. It needed everybody to put in money, and what they did is they fractured the community. They fractured the Xbox guys who have the money. Like believe me, I've seen a lot of Xbox guys throw away a lot of money,
Oh yeah.
and they
Oh
would
yeah. Being
throw
one
this
of them.
money
Oh yeah.
around.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
They would
I
do it,
think,
but I mean, there's a limit.
yeah, no,
This Shenmue should have been a multi-plat thing that unified everybody. Everybody put aside their differences to make a good game happen.
definitely.
And
I agree
Microsoft
with
could have
you,
funded
Matt.
the game.
Should have been a multi-plat for
It should have
sure.
been a multi-plat, definitely. It should. I mean,
Yeah. They still could have funded it too. They could have put the
who's
money up for the game for a
why?
good
I
cause.
have a question too. Why is there no big developers or anything getting behind that game? Like, there's no
Yeah.
who's developing. I know he's doing it, but isn't there usually like a publisher or somebody? Usually, like
I
an
know. I know.
EA
One of the
or
things is that Yu Suzuki doesn't want any corporate interest. He wants to make the game he wants to make, and
oh,
it's an
okay,
independent project.
okay,
Uh-huh.
okay.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't want
Oh,
people to
all
come in and say, "Well, this won't have marketability."
Oh, okay. He wants to.
okay.
Okay, I get it.
He
I
wants to
get
put
it.
the game out his vision.
It's his
Okay.
baby. It's
I
his
get it.
baby. Otherwise,
I,
you get what
that
happened
kind
to
of
Metal
makes
Gear
me
Solid
wonder.
5.
Did he? I wonder if Phil or anybody even had any contact with him. I wonder if they even
Right.
spoke with him
Right.
about the game. Because I know Phil. They got a lot going on right now. They got their hands in a lot of different franchises with the new IPs and first-party studios. I
Mhm.
honestly don't think Phil or anybody even. Oh, they did. Okay, so maybe they did talk to him, but yeah, Anchorman just hit me. They did talk to him, but I
I'm
don't know.
I'm
I
not
think
going
That's
to
what I
they
get
was
would.
into
wondering.
specifics of that, but
Yeah,
I know people who have confirmed they did talk to
and they didn't want
the
the game.
Shenmue
I mean,
guys.
or what was it? I mean, I don't know how far you can or how much you can tell us.
Right. I was going to say, how far can you go with it?
All I can say is they did talk about it. They
Okay,
did talk to
Okay.
Yu
that's
Suzuki
fair
about
enough.
it.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Yeah,
We
that's
can
cool. That's
we can all come to our own conclusions about what happened. Maybe it
right.
just wasn't. It a lot of the biggest thing that goes into video games is timing, and you always hear Phil and you guys like Yoshida talk about timing and developers talk about
Mm-hmm.
timing, because sometimes for us it makes sense, but for them it doesn't make sense to do it.
Right.
Even if they see there's a million people that want the game, it just doesn't make sense for them
Mm.
to do it at the point in time. When I had Aaron on, that was one of the things that he pointed out, that sometimes, when I asked him the question about which games that he wanted to see made that they haven't got made, or which games that he wanted to see come back. He mentioned that there was a lot of games that he wanted to see that got scrapped or they just couldn't do. Timing is a huge thing, and resources, and you never know what that developer or that person has going on, and so it could. I'm thinking maybe it was just a timing thing, and it didn't make sense, and maybe they didn't want to go in that direction at that point. So they probably, I'm sure Phil would have loved to do it, and he still would if they would come to him and be like, hey, can we put this on your Xbox? I'm
Oh
pretty sure he
yeah.
would be like, hell yeah, please do.
Oh yeah.
So
Hell yeah, here's another million.
yeah,
Right.
here's another million. Go ahead and take that. Put
Right.
that
Go
in that
ahead.
Kickstarter. So definitely, man. So yeah, man. It's been a good show, guys. I think it's been a good show, and I mean, I've had a
Yeah,
lot of
for
fun
sure.
here tonight, and kind of want to wrap things up, guys. I got
Always.
I got I got to go eat dinner now.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I gotta
I'm a
go
little
eat
starved.
dinner. Getting a little hungry now, but it's been great, everybody. We've had a few guests here. Anchorman, I want to thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate it. I know it was kind of short notice and I hit you up, but I really, really appreciate you coming by and stopping by and giving some feedback on the topics that we have here, man. So 1,000 pardons, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
hell yeah,
I really
man.
do.
Thanks.
Oh, anytime.
No problem, man. So I thank everybody for coming out,
Yeah.
taking a look at us. There's going to be another podcast next week, so look out for episode 3 of the Shop Podcast.
You
Me,
know it.
the usual suspects, my boy Alex, my boy Elite.
Yeah,
Anybody else
yeah,
got
yeah.
anything they want to say before we wrap everything up?
Oh nah, man, just another good podcast, fellas. We did it
Go
again.
Jets. And I can't
All
wait for
right.
Halo 5.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Halo 5.
All
Oh
right,
boy.
for sure, fellas. And if you guys are down, I may be jumping on some Destiny or something or some Halo,
Oh
and
yeah.
Yeah,
we can
I'm on
we
right
can do
now.
that.
definitely.
All right,
Shoot
for
shoot your
sure,
boy an invite. Let's do it.
for sure. So we'll speak with you guys next week. Thanks for everybody come out. The Shop Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Go to these guys. I'll make sure I put their Twitters in the description so that you guys go follow these guys. A great group of guys. Go sub to Elite. Go sub to Anchorman. They got great content. So I want to make sure I put that in there. We'll hit you guys up
Yeah.
next week. Blam out. You guys have a good one.
Yeah.